Good morning, everyone. Peace be with you. Like Andrew said, my name is Garrett, and I have the honor and privilege of working with Catch. And who here has heard of Catch? Please raise your hand. I love it. Okay. Usually when I go to groups, I don't see that many hands raised, so thank you. Catch, as a lot of you know, we work to house families who are experiencing homelessness. And today, an opportunity that I want to present you all with is the opportunity to join us. We would like for you to join us in our campaign to end family homelessness here in the Treasure Valley. And the start of that campaign is to help us through our Avenues for Hope giving campaign. Currently, we have around 500 families who are experiencing homelessness in the Treasure Valley. 500 families with kiddos who are experiencing homelessness. And around 100 of those families are living in their cars. And so today, after church, if you wish to join our campaign and learn more, we will have the opportunity to do some donations. And what that will look like is we have an online portal that you can give online with your credit cards. You can also write checks. But really anything helps. Just to give you all some context, it costs around $7,500 to end homelessness for a family in our program. And when a family joins our program, they are paired with a case manager who is their guardian angel, if you will, and who is with them through the process. And they work together for around a year, and the family receives 7 months of rental assistance. So that's a big chunk of where that $7,500 comes in, is we house families, provide rental assistance, and then get them to achieve financial independence by working with them, helping them reduce their barriers, and by increasing their income if that's something that is of need as well. But one fun fact that I do want to quickly share with you all that I learned this week is that 60% of our families, when they start the program, actually already have an income. And so oftentimes it's just figuring out ways to make it work. And as you all know, our valley is growing exponentially, and so the need is greater than ever right now, and it's very manageable as well. Homelessness is solvable here in Boise, Idaho, and it's solvable in the Treasure Valley. We just are going to take a whole community of support to make it happen, and we want to address this now before we come to Portland, Seattle, and to where it becomes unmanageable. So we have hope, and we hope that you will join us. And to put some sentiment and some story behind the perspective, I'm really excited for you all to hear Cassidy's beautiful story, a story of resiliency and strength. And so I will go ahead and welcome her to the mic now. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, y'all, I am nervous. I am not a public speaker, so this is very nerve-wracking. But I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I moved here back in June of 2018, and I ended up meeting a guy that brought a lot of trouble into my life. He caused me to lose my job that I got here, and I was kicked out of my house that I was staying in. So then I became homeless in my car. And the first night I was homeless, I parked in the hospital parking lot, and the passenger seat of my car was stacked with the stuff that I had. And I tried to cover up my windows the best I can, and I cried. Can y'all hear my nervousness? I'm so nervous. I cried in the back of my car, and I put the covers over my head, and I laid as still as I could. And I started crying, and I cried for hours, it seemed like. And I remember that night I prayed to God, and I was so mad at God. And I was asking him, why me? I'm a good person. How am I here? I don't understand what good could come out of this. But then it dawned on me that I could either sit there and I could cry about it, or I could get myself out of it. So from that point forward, after that first night, I had to learn how to be homeless, because I didn't know how to be homeless. I'd never been homeless before. And which consisted of, finding out where to park, how to get your food, how to get gas, how to shower. Showering is a big deal when you're homeless. And it was several weeks before I came across the Catch program. Once I got in a routine, I would park in the Dollar Tree parking lot because there was a tree shading my car. And I would crawl in the back and I would either paint or I would Google how to be homeless, assistance in Boise, how to get back to Texas. And then I ended up coming across the Catch's website. And when I first came across it, I was like, there is no way. This is a scam because they're just going to get me out of homelessness with, I don't have to do anything for it. I just go and they'll help me. But I was homeless, so I had nothing to lose. So I made an appointment. And sure enough, I qualified and I was put on their wait list. And from the time that I was waiting till I actually started Catch, it started in the summertime. I started homelessness in the wintertime, which is extremely cold. But it's not near as bad as being homeless in the summertime when it's excruciatingly hot and in your car. And so the longer time went on waiting for Catch, the crazier I got. And I remember one day I learned that parking at the Cabela's parking lot was where all the travelers would park overnight. So I would park there, and I would get up as early as I could in the morning because I didn't want to bring any attention to myself. But one morning, it was a Sunday morning, I decided to stay. And I rolled my windows down, and I turned my radio on, and I decided to do my makeup that day, which was that I never did my makeup back then. And there was a woman walking across the parking lot that was looking at me, and I was looking at her. And I was watching her closely because I was scared she was going to tell me I had to leave. But she ended up getting out of my eyesight. 30 minutes later, she ends up at my car door, at my window. She has Starbucks in her hand. And she said, I went to Starbucks, and they messed up my order, so I was wondering if you would like to have this. I saw you in your car. And I was super grateful for it. I hadn't had Starbucks in a good minute. So I was super grateful for it. And she asked me, she goes, I have to ask you, are you homeless? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, I could tell you were homeless. And she goes, and you know, she goes, I saw you, and God told me, go get that girl some coffee, and go tell her that I haven't forgotten about her, and that to keep pushing and to keep fighting. Which is what I needed, because at that point, you know, you start losing hope the harder you get. And then the day that Catch called me, I remember it being so hot, and by that time, my car battery, it was gone. I had to get it every time I tried to start my car. I had to go get it jumped because I had to run the air conditioner. And I remember being so hot, and I called my mom back home, and I was crying, and I was begging her. I said, Mama, please, please let me come home, and that I will do anything. I will go. I will do whatever you want me to do. Just please come. Please get me home. I can't do this. I'm not going to make it. And she tells me that there was nothing that she could do, and that she was sorry and to keep pushing. And I remember hanging up the phone, and I just bawled because I didn't think, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know how much longer I can wait. And then at that instant, my phone started ringing, and it was Catch. And they said, hey, Cassidy, we were just wondering that you're next on our waiting list and if you still needed a home. And I was still crying over my mom, but then I started crying for joy because I'm like, oh, you are right on time. Yes, I definitely need a home. So they were like, great, well then let's get you a home. So I remember when I signed my lease on my apartment, which is the most beautiful apartment y'all could ever see, and probably the pinkest apartment. And I remember when I first moved in, I had a bed, and I just had the pile of stuff that I was homeless with in this big, beautiful, empty apartment. And it wasn't like Catch, my case manager, she wasn't just like, you know, good luck, Cassidy, we'll catch you later. Like, she stayed by my side for months, making sure I could set up my goals and what I wanted to do. It wasn't anything that Catch was making me do. It was, hey, what do you want to do? What do you need in order to be self-sufficient? And so I was able to get back into school for social work. And now my daughter and I have a very pink Christmas tree. And we have our own bathrooms that are open 24/7, 365 days a year. And we have our own kitchen, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Catch, because they're my saving grace, and I don't know what I would have done if it weren't for them. Thank you.